Hey YouTube, it's Mark.
And Rocky.
And we are
This Cruise Life.
We are coming to you from the brand new Norwegian Aqua, where we are about to check out the Aqua slide coaster.
We have found so many amazing new finds on board this amazing cruise ship.
Hey, stick around. We're going to tell you everything that we loved,
what we didn't love,
and what we hated about this brand new Prima Plus class ship. So let's ride. First and foremost, what an amazing experience getting to sail on the newest cruise ship in the world. We explored the Norwegian Aqua from top to bottom. We ate pretty much everything on that ship, and we participated in events from morning to night so that we could tell you all about Norwegian Aqua.
We'll have tons more videos coming to our channel, so make sure, if you haven't done it already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Now, in true This Cruise Life fashion, we're going to talk about what we loved about the food, starting with Indulge Food Hall. This was such a great spot for a quick bite to eat on our cruise. Oh, the menus are just so good. You have Indian food, and you have this amazing pulled pork sandwich at the barbecue station. So many good places. And people said 5 days in, they didn't even know it existed. Oh my gosh, do not miss it. Cruise tip? The lunch menu and the dinner menus do vary from some of these 7 different restaurants.
Another venue that I absolutely loved, and again, this just continues to blow my mind, is the buffet. Specifically the noodle station, which had all of these different Asian dishes. Oh my gosh, they were delicious every time we ate there. And that mac and cheese was an absolute staple of every one of our meals. And the pizza.
Oh, the pizza was great. They had a thin crust, deep dish, Chicago style, so many different varieties of pizza, and it was good.
And sometimes weird toppings like tuna and onion, but who knew that works together?
We can't talk about the food and not mention the complimentary main dining rooms. Hudson's main dining room is gorgeous. Probably one of the most beautiful main dining rooms at sea.
And it's delicious. The service was phenomenal. We experienced this on Prima, and we loved it again here. Yes. But the Commodore.
The Commodore room was also phenomenal. Yes. Beautifully redesigned space. Absolutely loved the service in there, and the food was also just as good.
So I think you're going to enjoy the main dining rooms on Aqua.
And then there's the local. Oh, we loved this venue. We went there for lunch and dinner several times, and late night snacks throughout the cruise. But they're also open for breakfast as well. Do not miss this dining venue.
Cruise tip, I love their loaded nachos. However, they're not so loaded. You order a little side of chili and then add that on. Man, those are some amazing nachos.
And another cruise tip, do not miss the sundae for dessert. I've never seen a cruise ship that offers as good and big of a sundae as this spot on board.
At least at an included venue.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then there's the observation lounge. While this place is usually a spot for you to curl up with a book and enjoy the views of the ocean while you're sailing along, this is also a great location to get a late morning breakfast if you're a late riser.
Those potato egg bites.
Oh, those were good. Those little egg bites are great. And then they also have late afternoon snacks for the in-between meals if you're still looking for a little bit extra food.
And the last thing that I'll mention in the included food is if your trip has a visit to Great Stirrup Cay, get out to the island early and enjoy the various lunch options that are out there. We ate at the buffet. Honestly, the pizza was good. The salads were good. The burgers and hot dogs, everything out there was really good. Yes. Highly recommend the food on Great Stirrup Cay. Switching gears to specialty dining on board. Oh my goodness. Norwegian Aqua has all of those favorites that you have come to love.
Starting off with Nama Sushi. This place was great. Small venue with fast service, fresh ingredients, and really good, diverse food options.
Can you put the pictures here and here and here? I mean, this food was next level. I loved it.
It was so good. One of the other specialty restaurants we went to was Los Lobos. Do not miss that tableside guac. It was fresh, it was delicious, and it was made to the spice level that I wanted it.
I was more of a fan of the queso. I tried to order a second one and they said, sorry, the kitchen is closed. And then Sukothai, the new Thai restaurant, first one at sea for Norwegian Cruise Lines, really loved. I mean, we fought over who got the last bite of the chicken satay. Oh my gosh, that peanut sauce.
Peanut sauce was amazing.
It was so good. The spring rolls, those were the 2 best appetizers we had across the entire cruise. Now, I will say, I was disappointed with the red curry. They kind of sprinkled the curry around the edge of the dish instead of it sitting in a hearty curry. Uh, that bummed me out, but they replaced my meal, which I very much appreciate, with the Thai cashew chicken.
So good.
Once again, we fought over who got the last bite. I mean, it was so good. Absolutely, we'll go back to Sukothai. There's no doubt in my mind.
While we really enjoyed our dinner, stick around for something that we hated about our Sukothai experience. Well, that's it for the food on Norwegian Aqua. Let's take a look at the drinks next.
First off are the non-alcoholic options. Norwegian Aqua has installed the new Juicify beverage stations that allow you to have your lemonade or your orange juice or your teas, but these machines allow you to mix the quantities of each you want to have so you can create your own concoction. Now, several people said they didn't like these machines at all, but once I figured out how to actually mix, and that pineapple orange juice was the best drink that I had that didn't have alcohol in it.
Now, one of the best hidden bars that we found on board the Norwegian Aqua is exclusive to this ship, and that is the Swirl Wine Bar. Such a cool spot. If you're a wine drinker, they have a huge list of different wines that you can enjoy on the cruise. Now, the cool thing about the Swirl Wine Bar is it's adjacent to the Whiskey Bar, which was a bar that I really enjoyed going to. So you can find a little good mix of things from both bars for everyone in your party to be happy.
The whiskey bar made Rocky's loved list. It made my didn't love list. So stick around. The other thing that we really loved about the bars on board is we now can get the Buena Vista style Irish coffee at every bar on board. If you've watched any of our previous videos, sometimes the bars would allow us to get it. Sometimes they would say, no, we can't do it. Every bar on board the Norwegian Aqua served it, and we absolutely loved that.
And then there's the Metropolitan Bar, which is a great space if you're looking for a little bit of a different bar menu. They have their own unique drinks there because they have the sustainable drink menus.
Yep.
And then they had one of Mark's favorite drinks, the Pineapple Surplus.
I do like that one. The other drinks that I really like on board a Norwegian cruise ship are the frozens. I'm telling ya, this ship delivered in a big way on those frozen drinks. Try a Bushwhacker. Norwegian does a really nice job with that. But they also did great Miami Vices. They did, that mango meltdown. Oh, gosh. And on a warm day, they are perfect.
And the last one is kind of another hidden gem, and that is the Bullseye Bar. Up there on the top of the ship, deck 18, you're going to find this amazing little space that has fast service. I was impressed.
It has fast service because no one knows it's there the first day. It's kind of hidden behind all of the games upstairs. It was great.
Well, that's everything that we loved about the drinks on board Norwegian Aqua. Let's shift gears and talk about the entertainment.
I've got to open this section with the Aqua slide coaster. I am calling this the best new attraction on a cruise ship in many years. I absolutely love this thing. The adrenaline of that launch as it shoots you up that hill. Now, the slide itself is kind of tame.
Yeah.
But we giggled and hollered the whole time down because that launch, the adrenaline from that, just absolutely amazing. I rode it more than 30 times on my cruise.
It was so much fun. And can I say, it's really unusual to see a main star attraction on a cruise ship these days that doesn't cost anything.
A little less nickel and diming, perhaps?
I would have to agree with that.
Good job, Norwegian.
And with it being the star attraction on the ship, we were so impressed with the efficiency of how they operated this slide.
Even with lines.
There was never that long of a wait to get onto the attraction, which we loved.
Cruise tip, there are bins where you can put your sandals. That deck space does get hot. One last cruise tip, check your Freestyle Daily because it was open in the morning hours and no one seemed to know that. So we would sneak up every morning and we would ride it for an hour and have our fun, and then we would go back in the afternoon.
With the removal of the racetrack on those upper decks, it allows for the expansion of the stadium. This is where you're going to find all of those fun outdoor games like foosball and shuffleboard and beer pong and ping pong, and there was just so many fun things that you could do up there.
There's also the addition of the glow court. Everyone talks about the glow court. It is really cool. We did play in the glow court quite a bit. What I didn't realize is how much of a workout it was going to be. You can check in and register for a time slot on your cruise. You got basketball and soccer and
Dance and
don't what was it where we couldn't step on
skill
lava?
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so cool. And so the wall is LED, the floor is LED, and so you're jumping at different spots. We were playing basketball so the volcano wouldn't explode all over us. I mean, it was a really cool concept.
And one more thing that's up in this space is the tea time mini golf. We saw this experience on the Norwegian Prima and it came through to the Aqua. The theming is different, however. So cool. It's different destinations around the world, but you still have the automatic scoring and interactive elements as part of that experience.
How does it follow you from tee to tee or hole to hole to be able to track you and keep your score?
It's magic. I don't
It's
even know.
magic. Great job, Norwegian, and phenomenal theming. Absolutely loved this.
Yeah.
Wrapping up the top deck, we still have the drop slide. Now, I will say, I think they made adjustments to the design of the slide because
Yes.
we didn't get stuck even once. And it was hot outside. And so they slow you down as you go through that clear portion so you can take in the ocean, which is fun. It's such an efficient way to get from deck 18 down to deck 8.
So much fun. Do not miss it. Now, if you're looking to wind down or maybe find a way to relax on your cruise, the spa might be the place for you. The Mandara Spa on the Norwegian Aqua is a gorgeous space, huge pool with beautiful waterfalls cascading down the wall, multiple different sauna and steam room options like the charcoal room.
Oh,
Love that space. And plenty of treatment rooms to take care of you during your cruise.
If taking care of your body is important, you're probably also going to hit the gym. It was huge, and all of the equipment is brand new,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes.
And it's state of the art. All of the technology that was with that equipment. But here is something that I loved. And cruise tip, don't miss it. They've got an entire refrigerator full of cool towels. So when you are sweating it out on the treadmill, there's something special about putting that on your neck and just cooling down. Absolutely loved the gym and loved not having any sort of issues finding equipment.
Now, if you'd rather get your cardio on at a deck party, well, don't miss the deck parties on board this ship. You can go to the sail away party or glow party. Both of them were so much fun.
Okay, y'all. Rocky rocked it out at these parties. Here he is at the sail away party where he earned himself a free t-shirt.
Whoops. And then I also had a great time at the glow party, dancing it up with fellow cruise passengers.
Switching gears to talk about the actual stage shows, I love that the Norwegian Aqua gave a piece of paper that highlighted every single show that was on the ship, what needed reservations, what didn't need reservations, which day and port they were on. It made coordinating our dinner reservations and anything else we wanted to do so much easier. It was awesome, and I loved that there were less things that needed reservations on this ship.
One of the shows that does require a reservation is The Price is Right Live. Oh, this was such a cool experience. They filled that theater, you had your little name tag on, and they called 4 people at a time up to the stage to participate in the show. Now, we didn't get called to go up, but we still had such a fun time being a part of the audience.
Now, I don't know that I would go to The Price is Right Live every time on a Norwegian cruise ship, but it really was fun watching our fellow passengers play Plinko or spin the big wheel, the Showcase Showdown.
Oh, yeah.
And the prizes,
They were
trust me,
real.
go to The Price is Right Live. Sid Norman's Rock the Poorhouse is another show that we absolutely loved. Now, that is over in Sid Norman's.
Yes.
It's a live band. They sing, they dance, they come out and interact with the crowd. You don't need a reservation, so get there early because it is a smaller space. It's a show not to be missed.
Oh, yeah. Now, around the ship, you'll find during your sailing that there's some other fun little things to attend, and I really enjoyed the Q&A sessions that were hosted in the atrium. We went to one that was hosted with the hotel director and that staff, and also the
Captain.
Q&A with the captain and the chief engineer. It was such a cool experience and way to know how the ship operates.
Well, all of that is fun, and we absolutely recommend going to. Here are the can't miss shows that you have to attend. Sid Norman's Presents Fleetwood Mac's Rumors was phenomenal in the main theater. It had a packed house every single show. Even if you're not Fleetwood Mac's #1 fan or you may not know all of their music, trust me, the storytelling, the vocals, the band on this one, absolutely phenomenal. It's a can't miss show. Here are a couple of photos from that show. Please, please, please go to Sid Norman's Presents Rumors.
Another show that we loved was Revolution, a celebration of Prince. I didn't know I need that much Prince in my life. Such a great show. Now, here's a cruise tip. If you want to watch this show and really be a part of the action, go in on deck 6. You're going to be surrounded by the concert right there in person surrounding you. great set pieces and everything else.
Now, if you do go in on 6, you're standing the entire concert. You're like in the pit. It's amazing, and you will have to move around the theater. I'm not going to tell you too much because I don't want to ruin the surprise. Deck 7 and Deck 8 do allow you to sit and just kind of take it in all from above. We saw it multiple times, and we were down on Deck 6 every time. It was
It was
awesome.
great.
It gave true Virgin Voyages vibes. I like phenomenal job with that convertible theater.
Yes. And we think we found our new favorite cruise ship show, Elements: The World Expanded. This show does require reservations, so please make sure that you lock those reservations in on the first day of your cruise.
Now, if you've seen Elements on a previous Norwegian ship, this is a new telling, a new set. I've got goosebumps, y'all. It just the finale of this show.
Oh,
I mean, it was just absolutely phenomenal. The cast was amazing too. They came out and they interacted. We got to see them at the Improv at the nightclub, and they were just such a kind and caring cast. And that magician.
oh my gosh.
Go to see Elements, The World Expanded, and let us know what your thoughts are in the comments.
Finally, do not miss the crew talent show. This was such a cool experience.
A chef was one of the performers.
Right. They were so amazing. Their talents really shined through. It was a really cool show.
Yeah.
Unexpected. I'm so glad that we got to go.
I love that they put this in the Aqua Theater to really showcase it versus
Yes.
cramming it in the atrium like they did on Prima. Loved that change. And I also loved all of the crew recognition at the end. So they brought in members from all the different departments.
Well, that's everything that we loved about the entertainment on the Norwegian Aqua. Let's jump in now and talk about the design of this beautiful ship.
First, I just have to say this ship has an elevated appearance. Even the elevator lobbies are gorgeous. Whether you are in the restaurants or the public spaces or even the public restrooms, everything on this ship has a design element to it that makes it absolutely special.
And cruise tip, at night, head on up to the top decks so you can really see that lighting package that they've installed on the Norwegian Aqua and take it all in. It is gorgeous. Now, let's talk about some of the redesigned spaces throughout the ship.
Starting with that Penrose atrium, they have really redesigned the space. They ripped out that VIP casino and they moved it, shrunk the size of that, which is great, which opens up that space so much more. Now there's a stage for live performances, and
Gosh, this was a great setup right next to the Penrose Atrium bar.
so much better and so much more lounge and space and chairs to sit around.
Right.
Now the VIP casino is still there, it's just moved to the middle, and the casino is expanded into the other half of the atrium, which then allows the Improv, one of the biggest complaints about the Prima-class. They moved the Improv down, expanded it, changed the layout, and I will tell you, we love what they've done with the Improv, and I think you are going to be so much happier with that space on the Aqua.
Agreed. They've also moved all of the shops around in this space, making it a nice, rich feeling. More seating has been opened up, and there's even another spot for a live band up on deck 8.
It's great. I love the changes that they've made to this atrium.
Yes.
But it doesn't stop in the atrium. I love the redesign of the pool deck.
Ooh, yeah.
While I do miss the wave water slide, removing that opens up so much more space for lounge chairs and lounging. Plus, the ship is actually bigger than the Prima class by about 10%. There's more space around the pool. The pool is shifted back, creating. Remember that dance off that you
Those
saw Rocky
deck
doing?
parties were great.
Again, on a sunny, beautiful day, we still saw all of those loungers were full around the pool, but not to fear, there are so many other places to lay out. Another big complaint about the Prima class has been resolved through this redesign.
Plus, with the removal of the racetrack, there's now another spot where you can view the deck parties, the sail away party, and everything else from above. So it's really nice having those extra spaces that are hidden throughout that area.
Love that.
Now, I will say, we loved the size of our stateroom. It was so big. We actually spoke with some other cruisers who thought that the showers were massive compared to what they're used to on other cruise ships. Do not miss our stateroom tour on the channel.
And the hallways to get to the staterooms, nice and wide. We could walk side by side, and you didn't have to try to scoot as someone was passing you this way. Absolutely love that. And don't forget the triangles in the carpets always point you to the forward of the ship. A great cruise tip.
And there's also those really cool infinity pools down on deck 8 on both sides of the ship. Those are some great relaxation points on board.
Can I just say I love deck 8 altogether. I love that space. Remember how I said if there's not space around the pool,
Yep.
there will be space down on deck 8 to lay out. That entire wraparound deck, Absolutely love that on this ship.
And just the overall distribution of crowds across the ship. We never felt like it was busy. There were never long lines. It was so nice to have just all that space to enjoy your cruise.
Now, we did talk to several Norwegian loyalists who did not like the layout of the ship. They thought it felt clunky or disjointed because Indulge is way back here on deck 8 and the buffet is up on deck 17, and it didn't make sense to them. And that's not how a typical Norwegian ship is designed. We love it because Norwegian did this to really spread out the crowds. And like you said, it never felt busy to me.
Finally, we can't leave the design section without talking about the exterior of this ship. I will say that this hull art is the prettiest I have ever seen on a cruise ship. So cool.
Just absolutely beautiful. Great job, Norwegian.
Well, that is everything that we loved about the design of the ship. Let's rapid fire through the list of other.
I loved the terminal drop off, the check in process. Everything was super speedy from the time we were dropped off at the terminal to the time that we were boarding the ship. 30 minutes in total passed. Great job, Norwegian. Great job, Port Canaveral.
We loved how Norwegian does their muster process. It's so efficient. We got onto the ship, did our muster, and within 3 minutes, we were already on our way to lunch.
I love the Wi-Fi on board. We didn't have a single connectivity issue all week. Look at the speeds of this Wi-Fi. Now, it is the minutes-based plan, which I don't love. Come on, Norwegian, please. And we didn't pay the $32 a day to upgrade, but I absolutely loved the speed and consistency of the Wi-Fi all week.
It was so easy for us to get towels whenever we wanted to lay out at the pool or go to the beach. We just went up to either deck 17 by the main pool or down on deck 8 where the two infinity pools were, and it was done. So simple.
Easy. I also love, and now this is the cruise nerd in me, I love how many, oh, this is a brand new ship moments there were. With the plastic still covering the camera lenses, the masking tape still protecting the lights from where they painted. Like, those moments to me, I absolutely loved and probably won't matter as much to other cruisers out there.
And check this out, inaugural season merchandise. Way to go, Norwegian Cruise Lines, on filling your gift shop with some great merchandise for us to take home with us.
We may have bought some gifts for people. Absolutely loved the variety of merch. Loved the variety of Aqua merch, specifically dedicated to Aqua as well as inaugural season.
Right.
Phenomenal job. I love as you walk down the gangway, they've got signage for back on board time.
Oh, yeah.
Cruise tip, take a picture of that sign so you never have to worry while you're at port.
And then at the bottom of the gangways, before you get back onto the ship, they have those cooling towels so you can cool off from being out in the port all day.
Just a great embark and debark experience in
Yes.
ports. Even Great Stirrup Cay. We went out a little bit later on Great Stirrup Cay. We waited for general call, and even that process was super smooth and easy.
And we always talk about relaxed debark, and this was no exception.
Finally, I'm going to end this rapid fire section with the fellow passengers that we met on board. We met so many amazing people. We heard so many amazing stories. We went to lunch together, whether we saw you at the pool, at the dance club, wherever it was. Our neighbors on the ship.
Yes,
Oh my gosh,
they
we
were
must
great.
we must have spent an hour in the hallway talking to our neighbors on board. We met so many amazing people out there. Thank you so much. And to our friends Scott and Ryan, who we sailed with. We had such a blast, and we hope that you loved the Norwegian Aqua as much as we did.
Well, that is everything that we loved about our time on the Norwegian Aqua. Let's jump in now and talk about what we didn't love.
Well, we loved the Indulge food hall. There were some disappointments here. Starting off, and I'm sad to say, the brand new Plantery, the vegetarian vegan restaurant, I ordered that Hawaiian bowl, and it just wasn't good. Take a look at how it looks. Doesn't it? It looks beautiful. And then this is what I got.
And I also got the Southwest Bowl. And while I actually enjoyed the flavors and how it tasted, take a look at the picture. I don't know who takes these pictures, but it does not look anything like what was delivered to me.
Well, speaking of that, look at this chicken tostada as well.
Ooh.
There were several disappointing
Yeah.
dishes, but probably the most disappointing thing to me in Indulge is those tablets are still locked down at the counters. So if you can only find counter seating, you are forced to order only dishes from that restaurant. Now, thankfully, Aqua has redesigned that space, and there were so many more tables to sit at. We never once had a challenge finding a table.
And speaking of those tablets, pay attention. When you hit submit, Your order flies away and you don't see it ever again until the food is delivered. So if there's a little delay in getting your food, know that it's already been submitted. Don't do it again.
Now, this one is a personal one. I'm not a big fan of whiskey, so I didn't love that they moved the whiskey bar where my favorite Belvedere bar is on the Prima class. But what I really didn't love is one of the bartenders didn't want to make any other drinks back there. In fact, if it got later in the evening, he didn't want to make any drinks at all. He would be like, okay, I've got a mixer and a liquor, and that's what you can get at this point. Now, thankfully, the other bartender was more than happy to make mixed drinks, was more than happy to make whiskey drinks. And so we would always try to go to her.
The good news is there's still that swirl wine bar right around the corner, so you can have a nice time enjoying a glass of wine or a port, as we did many nights. And it was very convenient to go back and forth between whiskey bar and swirl wine bar. Something else that we didn't love, the dance parties on board. They were kind of missing. On the Prima, we had that Disco Wonderland, which was one of our favorite dance parties on a cruise ship. It didn't exist. They did a welcome aboard party and it was mediocre, not great attendance. And then a little bit later in the evening, they moved it to the Improv in hopes that it would be better served in that space.
No, the improv was fun. I really did enjoy dancing there. We danced there for the 80s party and a variety of other parties, but
Yeah.
next level on the Prima, okay here.
Yeah.
Just didn't love them. I already mentioned this, but we didn't love that they still haven't figured out some of the music volumes at the various venues. Metropolitan Bar was another area that was super loud. And we did talk to cruisers that did not like the redesign of the space. Now, I love that they got rid of that weird random hallway you had to go down to get to Le Bistro.
Right.
But what they did instead is they ripped out Le Bistro and put in Norwegian's most popular restaurant across the fleet, Cagney's, right there. They shifted the bar down, but now you've got everyone waiting for Cagney's. You've got everyone waiting for their Hudson's reservation with their beeper. You've got everyone listening to the live music and band, and you've got everyone at the bar. That space,
busy space.
it was so congested
Yeah.
and so loud.
Yeah.
We didn't spend a lot of time here because we didn't love that space. Now, I'm hoping that they'll figure out the flow, but I am a little worried that they may have made a little bit of a mistake moving Cagney's there.
We've said it before, but that Latitude's welcome back party was another didn't love for us. We got our staple saltine crackers and cubes of cheese. Welcome back to the brand.
No, if you ask us why do you keep going, Mark and Rocky, you know what this is going to be. We keep hoping that there's going to be a change. And so we are going to continue to go to that Latitude's welcome back party. And
We
we're
want
going
to feel welcome.
yes, and we're going to report on it for you. We stick around to the channel because we got a bunch more Norwegian cruises coming up.
We didn't love the design of the buffet. Now we know it's smaller because they introduced Indulge Food Hall, but it's really congested and it's really hard to figure out where everything is at. There's multiple lines going multiple places. It makes it a little bit of a challenge to find the food that you want.
So here's what I really didn't love. So on the Prima class, you've got a dry ride up there. You've got the
Go
racetrack.
Mhm.
But here now you've got a wet ride, the
Oh, yeah.
Aqua slide coaster.
Right.
The only way to get to that ride from the pool deck is to go through the buffet. And the only way with your wet selves and your shirtless, toweled self is to go through the buffet. No, you could go through Palomar, but that's one of the main dining restaurants that they
Yeah,
usually
it's a
block
restaurant.
off. And so all of that wet traffic is now funneled through the buffet. It feels like they need another pathway to get to the back of the ship versus forcing everyone through that narrow space.
Agreed. The next two things that we didn't love, we kind of feel like a broken record when we talk about them, but one of those things was the Norwegian app.
Now,
Ooh.
now, good news. We actually, in the Q&A session with the hotel director, someone asked a question about why the app has gotten so bad. And the hotel director gives me hope. He said, we have heard the feedback loud and clear. Headquarters has heard the feedback loud and clear. People hate the new app. They hate it. And so he said there are monthly updates that are coming out. And so hopefully we'll see the chat return. Hopefully the Freestyle Daily will be much more user-friendly going
Yes.
forward. But no, they are very well aware.
Right. And the other thing is those bar menus on board, every single bar on the ship has the same bar menu.
With
same drinks.
the exception of like the whiskey
whiskey-
bar
well,
and,
yeah.
and the Metropolitan bar.
Right.
And the pool bar, I guess. But any other bar just has those standard Monday through Sunday drinks. And again, if you call your liquor and call your drinks, this will not be an issue for you.
Right.
But I would love a bigger list of what frozen drinks they can make.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know some of the frozen drinks I could have. I saw other cruisers walk by with a drink, and I'd be like,
What's
"What's
that?
that?" And so I wish there was more differentiation between the menus.
And something that I don't understand about this ship design is they've shifted the two restrooms that were near Indulge to the entrance of the local, which now has multiple sets of restrooms that when you walk in.
Why do you need so many sets of restrooms at the local?
Right. So now at Indulge, all you have is an accessible restroom, and that was out of service for our cruise.
Yeah.
So you had to go to the local anyway.
A weird design change. You're absolutely right.
Doesn't make sense.
The last thing that I didn't love, and again, this could be the startup of the ship within the first month, but it did feel like the public areas were understaffed. We saw dirty dishes sit for long periods of time, especially Toronto Embark. The table next to us, they had their food being delivered, and the table still hadn't been cleared off from the previous people. And so they're setting these dishes on top of the dirty dishes. And the guy next to us was like, "No, do not put my food on someone's dirty dish."
Right.
So hopefully you won't experience that on your ship, but we do want to mention it just in case.
Yeah. Well, that is everything that we didn't love about our
Yep.
time on the Norwegian Aqua. Not a long list. And stay tuned for our short list of what we hated. Starting the hated section with the reservation system, not all of the restaurants were available for booking pre-cruise, and none of them were available in the app when we boarded the ship.
I think they haven't hard coded in Aqua yet, and so as a result, we had to go wait in that line.
Oh my gosh, everyone on board was making their reservations, so we waited over an hour just to make one reservation in the reservation systems.
It wasn't fun.
No.
Now, we always do recommend going day one to make your reservations because that's going to help make sure you get the right restaurant and the right time that you want. But this was just terrible.
Yeah, maybe nominate someone in your party who maybe draws the short straw to go wait in line and do this for you. Just make sure that they know the times and the days of what you all want to do. And perhaps buy them a drink from your more at sea beverage package after to say thank you.
Yeah. I hated some of the service that we experienced at a couple of the bars. Now, you heard me kind of talk about that in the didn't love, but there was one particular experience at Penrose Atrium that we could not get service. And I don't know if it was because the two of us were together, but this bartender wanted absolutely nothing to do with us. And this happened multiple times to the point where we tested our theory out one day, and we watched him serve 16 people that came to the bar after us. He refused to acknowledge us, refused to talk to us, refused to provide us service. And so I finally walked away, went up to the local, and had drinks in hand within 30 seconds. So, cruise tip, skip the Penrose Atrium, especially if you're getting back on the ship from port, because everyone is coming up to the Penrose Atrium. Instead, hop up another deck or two, head over to the local and grab your drinks. It's a bigger bar,
Plenty of bartenders.
friendly bartenders, and they service everyone. So, highly recommend that.
Something else that I hated was the movement of the smoking section. Now it is located on deck 17.
Right outside of the main
Yes.
entrance to the deck.
Right. So this means that when you go in from the pool deck, you're going to be bringing smoke in with you. And that also means that the doors to the observation lounge are kept closed. Those doors were the heaviest doors on the ship. I had to help several elderly folks with getting into the observation lounge because those doors were so heavy. I hated that location.
The last thing I hated has to do with Sukothai. Now, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. We loved it, but they have got to do something with the acoustics in that restaurant. It's these heavy chairs on hard surfaces everywhere throughout. Listen to the sound of one of these chairs moving. That's what we had to listen to the entire meal. Anytime someone would shift a chair, it is just the most obnoxious, loudest space on the ship. Please, Norwegian, put in some sound dampeners, put in some
felt pads on the bottom of the chairs.
Something, because as you're eating this delicious dinner, like, it was terrible.
Well, that is everything that we hated about our time on the Norwegian Aqua.
Not a lot.
We promised a small list. Now let's talk about our final thoughts. The Norwegian Aqua is a gorgeous ship. There were so many things that we loved about our time on board, and we hope that you have the same experience if you sail on this ship.
Now, I mentioned it in the very beginning, but it was amazing getting to sail on the newest cruise ship in the world and taking it all in. I told you in the beginning, We tried everything for you, and I think you probably now know by the length of this video, we were not kidding. So, Rocky,
Yes.
a week on board the Norwegian Aqua. Curious, how many ships?
If I had the option to stay on board, I would have absolutely booked the back-to-back cruise option.
Yeah.
The sailing was amazing. We met amazing people, crew. The food was great. Everything was just so well polished
Entertainment,
for 1 month of operation. Because of that, I'm giving this sailing experience 5 out of 5 ships. Mark, what about you?
does not surprise me. I mean, we've already talked about booking our second group cruise on
Yes.
board the Norwegian Aqua. We loved it that much. I'm giving it 6 ships out of 5.
Oh,
I am. It's. I got goosebumps, y'all.
yeah.
It is my new favorite ship that I have experienced. I think about how this compares to the Prima and the enhancements that they've made. I love the changes. I love the redesigned spaces, and I just absolutely love how beautiful this ship is. And like you said, like Rocky said, a month in to see it performing the way it is, it's really surprising because we've also been on another ship recently that was brand new that did not perform anywhere near how the Norwegian Aqua is performing. And so 6 ships out of 5. It's my first time ever giving that rating. Absolutely loved the experience.
Well, thank you so much for watching this video. We hope that you've enjoyed it. If so, just give us a thumbs up so we know that you enjoyed this content.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It helps us grow. It's free to do. And then you find out when we post other Norwegian Aqua content, like all of the food that's available on board. We're going to go in depth for you.
And smash that notification bell so you know about all of our videos coming to the channel, not just about the Norwegian Aqua.
That's true. We've got some other stuff out there too. Okay, until next time, we'll see you on the ocean.
Bye.
Can I just make one observation?
Sure.
There was only one drink that wasn't alcoholic that we just talked about. Whoops. We definitely took advantage of more at sea this day.
Oh, we did.
Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the entertainment.